inside my veins. Nothing left that still remains. Velvet nights repeat the same. Every face a different name. Time has dulled what once would burn. Still I ache for its return. Underneath this endless calm, something stirs. Something wrong. I lure into decay, but I'm not like for its. I need the fire back again. Something real to crave. I lure into decay, fading into gray. Touch the spark inside my veins. Make me feel the flame. Live too long, still pretend. Every thrill comes to an end. Silk and shadows, empty air. No one left who truly dares. Heart beats slow, but still I'd wait. Balanced on the edge of fate. If you think you can ignite, step into my night. Break the silence if you can. Wake the ghost. Lure to decay, but pull me back to flame. Drag a hunger from the deep. Say you know my name. Lure to decay. Don't let me fade away. Give me something sharp and true. I can feel again. So cold, so still. Centuries standing still. One spark, one sin.
What's up, guys? What is up? Organic. What is up, my brother? PBD. What's up? What is up? Thank you guys for being here. All right. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Brent, thank you for always stopping by. Thank you for always stopping by, my brother. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. How you guys are doing? How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. I really hope you guys are doing well. Guys, if you could, please like the stream. It always helps me out. If you guys could, please like the stream. How was your guys' weekend? Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. That was by Evil Eddie. Amazing creator, right? Makes some amazing music. The good snow's finally gone. Good. I can understand the snow craziness. I could definitely understand that. But glad that, you're not dealing with the snow. All right. I have a bunch of videos for tonight. So definitely let's get started. Let's get started to see the insanity of modern day women, right? We always love to see their hypocrisies, delusions, and insanities, right? We always love it because it's an entertaining thing, in my opinion, right? It's entertaining seeing women's mental breakdown. I believe it's entertaining. So let's get started. I got a bunch of TikTok videos for us to break down, ridicule, critique, and just, you know, have fun with. All right, let's get started with this one.
Hey men, for the first time in history, women are dating men based on character, not on financial security. So you're single because you're a piece of shit, not because you're poor. Hey men.
Interesting. So men are single because they're a piece of shit. Women are single not because of that. Ain't that funny? The hypocrisy in that. And this is a thing where first time ever women aren't dating men based on financial security, but which is kind of a lie because one of the top reasons of divorces is finances. So women definitely care about that a lot. Now, I think it's also funny, right? To say that women are basing men on their character. Interesting, because I find that delusional because we still have a high level of baby mamas. We still have a high level of women just dating, honestly, a select few of men, right? Women are just dating a select few men. And to be honest, the men that women are dating isn't necessarily based on characters, moralities, values, principles, and shit like that. Dating statistics have shown that women are clicking on only like about the 20% of men. And I'm pretty sure 20% of men are not highly character based. Okay. But I also want to say this. I think it's funny that women don't really recognize that maybe it isn't men's character, but women's, right? Women's character or lack thereof, or a lot of things that women are lacking, right? Because I believe that you think women are all that morally sound, great characters, great anything. No, let's check this. Let's check this morally sound woman.
You are going to love this update. Do you remember Miss Lexi, that one labor and delivery nurse out of Florida that decided to post that horrible video concerning Caroline Levitt and her child? Well, as of today, the Attorney General who was out to revoke her license, her nursing license, as of today.
Also, the heavy amount of filter this old withered women had. You look at this is her actual face right here. Right? Look at this. This is her actual face, no filter, no makeup. You see the difference? So I find it what kind of a character, does she have when she just lies? And her viral video is pretty much saying vile things about a mother and her child. Vile thing, just because has a different political opinion. So maybe this disgusting over the wall, right, woman is having an issue not because of character, because of difference of opinion, which is fine, right? But again, to have a difference of opinion, yet maybe even different of values, yet you are saying vile things to someone.
The Attorney General who was out to revoke her license, her nursing license, just made this announcement that they have officially revoked her nursing license in the state of Florida, where she will no longer be allowed to continue her practice in the state of Florida. I mean, talk about a fourth degree tear to her career. I mean, imagine the rip, the tear that your license experienced to where you cannot find a nursing job in your home state anymore. And I could almost guarantee you that it would not just be the state of Florida that enacts this against you. Any other state that becomes aware of your video and what you did, this wasn't just a TikTok video anymore. This went viral that it made it to news channels. I genuinely feel sorry for you, because all the years of work that you invested in this, you threw away. You tossed into the garbage can because you thought you could say anything and everything you wanted, and your employer had to just suck it up. You forgot something called code of ethics.
This is a thing where I am a big proponent of the freedom of speech. Okay. But I also believe that, in today's age, a lot of people don't realize that you have the freedom to say what you want. You don't have the freedom of no consequences for what you say. Now, I would say this, it's within degrees, right? It's within degrees. Now, this woman said some vile things to, about a woman, about a mother, so probably, and plus, she's a nurse. Right? It's all, there's degrees, right? I said this with I don't know, but if you guys check out my recent video, right, about Jaden Ivory, he said things. He had opinions about the gay community. Now, I wouldn't categorize his opinion as extremely vile or anything, but again, he's a basketball player. Laughing man, what is up, my brother? What is up? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing? He's a basketball player. Okay. He's a Christian basketball player. So one, he doesn't support the the alphabet community. I think that's perfectly fine. And pretty much saying that he doesn't support them and he doesn't, whatnot, shouldn't really cost him his job. Now, a fine, maybe. But still, again, he suffered the consequences. I don't think it is proportional, but I'm more thinking about not necessarily the consequences, but the lack of support from his community, right? From the African American community, where here's a black man that is being punished for his freedom of speech, and there's no support for him. I just think it's funny, right? I think it's funny because if he was fined or fired or whatever because he's talking about Donald Trump, talking about white supremacy, talking about white people, I believe African Americans would stand behind him. But because he's talking about the alphabet community, they're not. I just thought that was interesting. But, talking about these modern day women, right? Choosing men based on values. Okay. But do their values actually make sense?
Between these two choices, who would you go on a date with?
How MAGA is this dude?
He's all about MAGA, 100% all the way.
Oh God. Probably this dude.
The Quality Leering Center?
Yeah.
Okay, why is that?
So, it's political values. I get it, particularly on the people on the left, they would be they're very strict with the values, right? With the political values. They really would hate you. I've seen people on the left literally disown you, defriend you, ignore you, betray, whatever, okay? Break up relationships, anything, just because of difference of a political value. It's a bit much, a bit insane, but it is what it is. But I just find this kind of funny, right? Make America great again. It's kind of funny that people find that a distasteful ideology. I really do, because there was a time in America, of course, America has bad, an ugly history, but there was also a time in America where we had high marriage rates, low divorce rates, a high, birth rate. They eat their own. I definitely. It's like we care about values, we care about community, right? There was a time when I think America was at its peak, right? And also people weren't at their throats, right? At each other's throat. People didn't hate you because of the difference of political opinions. People, in my honest opinion, the maybe the 70s, the 80s, a bit of the 90s, people weren't all that cared about your race, about your gender, about your political views. They didn't care. At least when I was growing up, people weren't fighting each other because of that shit. Now they are. So is it that bad to want America to be great again? To focus on the time where we weren't at each other's throats?
Because I definitely do not support MAGA, and so I'd rather just go on a bad date with that guy than go on a date with someone in MAGA.
Okay. Well, great news. The first guy with the blue hair, he's available, so we can set you up with him.
I have class. I'm a lesbian.
I'm also a lesbian.
You're a lesbian? Okay.
I'd probably pick the blue hair guy as most lesbian.
Between these two choices,
Okay, whatever. But okay, and then women are picking, these types of men. Women, like, you don't see the results. I honestly believe, right? It is women that are at the root of a lot of our social problems, a lot of our problems. Okay, I believe women are at the root of it, and we are seeing the results of it. Okay, you want men that are, have less testosterone, right? Men that are liberal, Democrats. Okay, well, then the men that would actually open the door for you, right? Actually probably be gentlemen to you. Well, okay, now they see that that's what you want. You want equality. Okay. You don't want special treatment. Okay. So we'll give women what they want.
Oh, I wish I could get a seat. A girl like me, I wish I could get a seat. My legs are killing, I wish I could get a seat.
Me too.
Oh, I wish I could get
Antics. So, like he's saying, men have created the female monster. I would love to understand what you mean. So, in my opinion, men haven't. Men haven't. Okay? Men haven't. Now, I wouldn't disagree if you said there's a certain tier of men. I honestly believe the rich, right? The rich created it, right? To be honest, I believe the rich man's feminist or liberal wife, the rich man's white liberal wife created the female monster, right? But I would probably say the rich men, okay, which is a small subset of men, right? So I don't believe men, which when we talk about men or talk about women, I usually go by majority. I don't believe the majority of men created the female monster. I don't believe that. Now, maybe you do, but I see no evidence that men, right, created the female monster, right? Men in general didn't necessarily push or create feminism or push women to go to the workforce. Now, like I said, I believe a certain subset of men, right, the top tier men, the rich men, they wanted women to be in the workforce. So you have a bigger workforce. You have more people to tax. That's who I believe. But that in essence is a small subset of men. Okay? So that's how I see it. Happy wife, happy life was created by the simp era men. Now, this is a thing where I believe the happy wife, happy life thing was created. I mean, again, I don't disagree that is a simp behavior, but I believe that was created during a time of, to be honest, maybe still a bit more gentleman, right? I think women were still a little bit different, right? Now, today, that ideology would be not a great thing, okay? But happy wife, happy life. I believe it was just a time where, women were less unbearable, right? That's what I would think about it.
Go, Kylie, go. Good job, Kylie. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Wow, look at her go. Go, Kylie, go.
It was the 80s, but this is my thing. I don't think 80s women were the worst, right? Do you think so? I don't I think now probably 80s women weren't the best, right? But it gets worse with every generation, right? With every decade. Now, 80s women were probably on the cusp of, becoming the worst, right? But I wouldn't think that they were the worst types of women. I think women nowadays are honestly at their worst.
Carol, would you want someone to get up and offer you a seat?
Okay, absolutely. It's not just common courtesy. It's also an act of kindness as well towards a woman. And
act of kindness, not courtesy. It's not just an act of courtesy, which women don't show towards men, which is kind of funny. The 90s did usher in the girl boss. I definitely agree. Again, it just got worse, right? Women or people overuse that the happy wife, happy life phrase, and then it just got worse. And but you gotta think about this, right? The 80s and 90s men, right? Those are the men that have woken up today, right? So they woke up to, you know what? Yeah, we facilitated or we helped, we enabled, right, the unbearable women we have today. So I definitely agree, but this is the thing where I think men are taking accountability for it, in my opinion, because a lot of these men know that they created the unbearable women we have today. Right? Men stop putting their foot down. I agree. I definitely agree. I agree. And honestly, like towards women, right? Isn't that kind of, where's the equality in that? Why treat women different?
I think, it shouldn't be mandated that men give up their seats, but actually I think it speaks a lot to their character if they do. And I think it speaks to their character if they don't. I mean, men should know by now that pregnant women, especially, but I think all women should be offered a seat, but pregnant women especially, and I don't have to tell you this, you suffer from exhaustion, you suffer from anxiety.
But pregnant women has no, I mean, you should be nice, right? Should be nice, but at the end of the day, you didn't impregnate her, right? You didn't impregnate her. So, I mean, to be nice is a great thing. But again, what's the equivalent for men? Are you going to give your seat for a father, right? Because he's a father. Not because he has a child with him, but because he's a father, you're going to give up a seat for him? I mean, I don't see women doing that for men. And this is my thing, okay? It's not like I'm saying don't ever do it, because if you're nice, you're nice. But you don't see, right? It's like women don't understand. You're the ones to usher equality. And yet you still want special treatment. Even if you're pregnant, which is, yes, if you give up your seat for a pregnant woman, it's a nice gesture. But again, you didn't impregnate her. You have no, I mean, it's like it's just like, she's still a stranger to you. Right? It's not like you could tell a pregnant woman what to do with her child. It's not, because you have no say in her life, but yet you should bend over backwards for her.
Suffer from nausea, from dizziness, whatever. And probably the most terrifying thing, I imagine, is if you're on a crowded tube train and somebody knocks your bump. I think men who do not give up their seats in those circumstances are savages, quite frankly. I do. I really
savages.
do. I do.
Henry, you
this
savage.
Is extreme. My God.
If you don't stand up for a pregnant woman or an elderly couple, you're a savage.
Okay, so you've narrowed it down.
No,
Tabitha is 34 and she was pregnant. What if Tabitha is 34, but not pregnant? That's the thing. I'm 58. If I saw Tabitha standing there, 34, fit and healthy and not pregnant, would I stand up for her? Of course I wouldn't. She should be standing up for me.
How do you know she's pregnant?
How do you know she's not pregnant?
I'll just look at her.
Well, no, you don't.
Oh, Henry.
No,
you
come on.
just walked into that one.
No.
You just walked into the whole nightmare.
But how would I, if she was clearly, evidently pregnant, I think hopefully most men and most women, because in surveys, 19% of women said they bury their head into their phone or the paper, pretending they can't see, and only 14% of women. So women are potentially worse at ignoring women.
I don't know a single woman that would not stand up for her head.
Who gives a shit what you know? Do you know? It's like this. This is the problem with a lot of women's arguments. They say that I don't know any. Okay. Do you know over 1 million women? So the amount of people you know, right, isn't even a drop in the bucket. So really, I mean, I don't know what stat he's saying, so I don't know if it's true or not. But what he's saying, he's trying to use logic, use stats, use information to back up his statement. You are using personal experience. Hopefully, if his stats or whatever his information is correct, it's usually thousands to hundreds of thousands of participants in those surveys. You, at best, a couple dozen, right? That's at best. So, one, it's thousands to hundreds of thousands of people. You, a couple dozen, at best. So, your anecdotal experience means shit. It means nothing. It's not even a drop in the bucket.
Well, I don't, for a heavily pregnant woman. But the bottom line is...
Because they think men should be doing it.
Henry, you are a courteous man
I am.
in life.
You were raised.
And you're a kind man
I am.
in life.
Thank
so
you.
why on earth would you not extend those two virtues that you have to women generally?
No.
But
Why would I stand up for a fit 25-year-old woman who can deadlift more than me?
You're fit.
I offer?
You're fit. He's just...
Have you seen the women on TikTok deadlifting now?
Can I just say,
Can I
he's
offer
been
the
teaching
reason
me
why?
squats in the back room. So
fiddle.
he really is fit.
He's as fit as a fiddle. Can I offer you a reason why?
Okay, go on.
Because you said if they are obviously pregnant.
Yes.
As somebody who has been pregnant twice,
Yes.
I've actually been pregnant more than that, but anyway, that's about another story.
okay.
But the first 3 months of pregnancy, I think we can all agree, those at home, are the pits. They are the worst. They are when you're feeling nauseous all the time. You have like weird pains. You've never.
Then your husband should be driving you around. It's like, I find it quite insane with women. You can't even tell a female stranger to smile, right? You can't even tell a female stranger to smile. Yet you should bend over backwards for a female stranger because what, she's pregnant? The absolute, we owe them nothing. Yeah, I mean, like, men owe women nothing. I'm sorry. If you want, get your husband who impregnated you to handle you, right? To take care of you, to cater to you.
Never experienced before. You have exhaustion like you wouldn't believe. Not like a bad night's sleep,
All right.
like a full body flu
But
exhaustion.
isn't it up to
And
you
that
then
is
to
the point.
wear the badge?
Yes.
Yeah, but before
If you want baby on board, I'd be okay,
before
sweet.
3 months, you're at high risk of miscarriage. A lot of people want to keep it to themselves in case of that. Carol, would you want someone to get...
Yeah, again, it's like something we always say, it's none of our business, right? Your person, it's like, are you going to stand there and tell us your personal life? Or are you not? I mean, again, your life is none of our business. So what we do, again, this is the problem. Women have killed chivalry. So it is pointless to be chivalrous to women. You're not the weaker sex anymore, right? Women have a hard time to say that they're weaker than men. So it's just ridiculous.
We should call this, How Can I Make Myself Out to Be a Victim Today, while still maintaining the idea that I'm a strong, independent woman that doesn't need a man for anything, who probably lives in one of the most privileged countries in the entire world, but probably didn't have the common sense that it takes to actually ask any of those individuals sitting down, whether they be a man or a woman.
Alvy, what is up, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well, my brother.
If they would surrender their seats so someone else could sit down. Most likely.
I also find it funny. Okay, yeah, women don't have the courtesy to just even talk to men, right? If you want a seat, ask. How would you ask? Maybe men would be, generous and say, "Okay, fine, I'll let you." How about ask men? It's like, I just find it really entitled that you think that men should just get up automatically. It's ridiculous.
You never see men offering women seats on public transport anymore. And I'm not talking about pregnant women or women holding a baby or older women. I'm talking about just normal adult women aged between like 18 and 50, let's say. You never see it. And this is not a man bashing post. To anyone who follows me, I never man bash. The reason that men don't offer women seats on public transport anymore is because of women. they don't know how women are going to react. They think that they might get called out on social media. They think they might get shouted at. They think they might get told that they're like anti-feminism or toxic masculinity. So men just don't do it anymore. Men can't act chivalrous anymore. Like if a man offered me a seat on the train, I would absolutely love it. I would go as far to say that it would make my day. Like just such a simple, small gesture, such a simple, small act of kindness that would just put a smile on your face and make your day better. But men can't do this anymore. They can't do any chivalrous acts like this anymore because they just don't know how today's women are going to act. Now, please tell me, would you offer your seat to someone on the train, to a woman on the train? And again, I'm not talking about older people or pregnant people. I'm just talking about like a general woman that you saw on the train or the bus or any other public transport. Would you offer them a seat? Have you offered someone a seat recently and you've been met with a negative response? Please tell me. I would just love that there would be some men out there that still do it and that there are some women that actually still receive it warmly and kindly like I would. Let me know in the comments.
To be honest, she understands it, right? She understands one reasoning of it, okay? I believe, like I said, another reason is just men see women as equals. I believe men see women as equals. I'm lucky nobody sits next to me on the bus. Yeah, men see women as equals. So men don't even bother. Okay, men, you're an equal, you're just like any other man. Now, to say that I have when I was younger, right? But that's when I was taking the bus or taking the whatever. Not often, right? I don't do it often. I didn't do it often, but I probably have done it once or twice. I wouldn't regularly do it, right? I wouldn't regularly do it. So that's my thing. Who are you? This is, but you know, my thing is my problem is, right, is the expectations. That's my biggest problem. Women are expectant of men's chivalry. Okay? Women today are expectant of men's chivalry. And that is the problem. It's the entitlement. It's like you think that you qualify for it. You deserve it. You should get it. Why? Why? When we have an era of women saying that they're strong, independent, they don't need no man. The same era, right, of that saying, women are out here also thinking that, oh, where's the chivalry, right? Where I want men that open doors. I want men that give up seats. I want men that pay for dates and shit like that. It's the expectations, right? When women they're not the type of ladies that even deserve it nowadays. Yet they have the attitude of independence, but they also have the attitude of entitlement. That is the problem I find with, honestly, the sheer stupidity of a lot of women. I'm sorry, right? Where you don't think that, you know what? It is your fault that men are the way they are today. I've said this when I was debating with, I think, Zyrax, right? A follower. I honestly believe that, again, men didn't change. Men adapted. It is women who changed the status quo. In turn, men changed themselves to fit the new society. So, all right, let's check out some more clips. Let's check out some more clips. What Laughing Man says, DA, what car you have if you have on? I've had the cars I've had, right, in my life was a Toyota Corolla. I've had a Toyota Corolla, a Toyota Matrix, right? A BMW, I think it was a Series 3. I've had a BMW Series 3. And right now I have a Nissan Rogue, right? I seriously, you know what? Like when I was it's weird, right? I was weird. When I first got a car, first got my car, I really wanted a Matrix. I don't know why. I think it was because of the name, right? The Matrix. It was like, I think it was during the time with the Matrix coming out and stuff. So I really liked the name Matrix. So I wanted the Toyota Matrix. I really wanted the BMW. Only to find out that I hate BMWs now because BMWs are already expensive to buy, right? BMWs are already expensive to buy. I didn't know, right? After having a Toyota, the Toyota brand, that they're so expensive to also maintain, right? I believe one tire was $300. One tire, I believe. I'm like, God damn. It was so expensive, right? It was so expensive to maintain. I think I bought my BMW for maybe 30, 35, 35K. I think when it's all said and done, I probably spent maybe 45K, maybe a little bit more on that whole car in totality, around 50, right? And I was like, God damn, I spent a lot on that car. So I was like, never again. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm gonna anytime soon, if ever, buy a BMW. Definitely don't know if I will buy a luxury car because I don't know. It's the cost of maintaining them that's annoying, right? They're not just expensive to buy up front, they're also expensive to maintain. And I'm like, God damn. That's actually a good car. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I really found the Toyota brand to be quite reliable, quite good. So I thought it was good. I had no problems with Toyota. If I could, I'll probably buy another one, right? Or if I would ever buy a car, might be another Toyota or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. Who knows, right? Right now, my car I finished paying off my car already, so I really don't want to finance another car. I don't want another bill right now, so I'm gonna, just suck it up with the car I have now. All right. Let me give me a minute. I kind of want to fix this. Whiskey, what is up, my brother? What is up? Right. I'm trying to I really like this, right? The chat bubble right here. It's awesome. I love it. I had a doctor's appointment last week. They measured my height. I gained a half an inch. 5'9". Oh wait, 5'9.5". I thought you shrink when you get older. Yes, you do. So that's interesting. Maybe they judged your height wrong before. Sorry, my fault, bro. But do you like old car or old muscle car? Me, I'm going to get my Baba 1989 split window Firebird. Oh dog, I think I needed to change pants. A Firebird, that's not bad. I'm not really a car guy, right? I'm not really a car guy, so yeah, I'm terrible with cars. So I'm not much of a car guy. So it's terrible talking cars with me because I'm not, I know absolutely nothing when it comes to cars. All right, let's Let's check this one out.
My best friend's man says she's no longer allowed to talk to me. Okay, so I'm trying to plan an absolute banger of a weekend since I am single and I can. And she was like, I can't go. What? What? She was like, girl, I am so sorry. But my man said to me, girl, you're not going. I don't think that you should be around Megan anymore. I was like, hang on a second. He was totally fine with you hanging out with me when I had a man, but now all of a sudden, no? What the fuck is that? She told me he feels threatened and he feels that if we go out, I'm going to do bad things. He said he can't trust her because the last time we went out, we went absolutely apeshit. We had some drinks. We took some spicy cubes before we went out. So we were just like absolutely off the wall. It was so much fun. And by the way, at that time I had a man. She was like, girl, I can't. This is my relationship and I can't make him mad at me. I've been friends with this girl since like we were 15 years old. I think she should be choosing me over him, right? Am I being ridiculous? Should she be actually choosing her man over me? My best friend's...
Yeah, she should be choosing her man over you. One, she's not having kids with you. You're not providing for her. You're not a partner to her, right? You're not sharing. You're not either providing for her or paying half of her bills. So yes, she should prioritize her man's opinion, her man's, I don't know, orders over you. She should prioritize her man's feelings, his thoughts, his opinions over you. Right? This is a thing where it's honestly ridiculous because there's a difference between this, right? When it comes to single women, they have a habit of creating other single women, right? Single women have a habit of creating other single women. Same thing with divorced women, right? They will create other divorced women. A lot of these curses, right? Same thing with single mothers. Single mothers, single women, anyone single, right? They have a habit of creating curses, creating cycles, right? A lot of these women, because in my honest opinion, these are the type of women, the single women, the single mothers, right? The divorcees. They are the epitome of misery loves company. They need company. So if they're miserable, which they are, they're miserable people, they need you to join in their misery. Hordes of cat ladies. Justin, what is up? I agree. Again, these women, these single women, they need you to join in because, again, it's lonely being alone. So they need you to be a part of this, their misery crew. Okay? They need you to be a part of it, which kind of telling with these women. So yeah, I 100% support her friend siding with her man. Okay? She should be going hang with her other single friends. Nah, I mean, like, I'm sorry if I step my boundaries about this, DA, but it'll be awesome. I know other content creators talked about this, but how modern women age, tell me about grandma, 22 years old. I don't know not a boundary is anything. It is lonely on both sides. Laughing man, I'm not sure what you mean. What do other content creators talk about? I mean, I don't know. But yeah. And this is the thing where these types of women, I just find it that they are at the worst when they're single, in my opinion, right? They're at the worst when they're single. It's just that they're at the worst mindsets. They're at the worst, I don't know, toxicity. Oh, how they don't like their age. Yeah, I mean, women definitely have I guess it's society, right? Society, it is a true thing. It's a true thing that society, they devalue women at its age. But this is something that a lot of women don't understand, okay? Women don't understand that there's a viewpoint when you're dating, right? When you're in the dating market and your views as a human, right? As you age, women are less valuable in the dating market. It doesn't mean that women are less valuable in society as a human, right? It doesn't mean the same thing, okay? That's the problem a lot of women seem to not grasp. Yes, as women age, they become less valuable in the dating market. A lot of women can't distinguish the two. It doesn't mean that you're less valuable in society. I love you, my brother. I love you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. I bought a 10 bag of flour today. I had no flour. Having flour makes me feel comfortable. Now I have to make pizza dough. I have too much flour. Whiskey, you are crazy.
My friend just showed me her Tinder profile recently and she pays for Tinder Gold. Take a wild guess at how many likes she has in a 30-mile radius. If your answer was 500, you're wrong. If your answer was 1,000, you're still wrong. Almost 6,000 likes. 6,000 people. I know people that grew up in towns with less than that. In case you're wondering why you weren't getting a response, it's because there are 6,000 other people fighting for that person's attention. My friend just showed me her Tinder.
I'm glad he says this because it shows me that I said this countless times before. Dating is hard for women only because they make it hard. Right? Dating is hard for women only because they make it hard. Women have unrealistic standards and standards that only fit a very select group of men, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it shows you that you have no one to blame but yourself. Okay? If you're single, that is because it's your fault. Not because of men's fault, it's your fault. Right? You are the reason why you're single, not men. Okay? Because you're not attracted to, you don't want any men, right? That you have options. And you obviously have at least 6,000 options, right? And yet out of 6,000 people who liked you, who was even a bit interested in you, right? Attracted to you, you chose none of them. And you're paying for it, right? You're paying for this subscription to have a lot of options, yet you can't even find a man. This is why when women complain about men, I 100% always say it's their fault. You are the problem. You are the reason why your dating life sucks. You are the reason why your life sucks. Because of you. Right? 6,000 likes. This is the thing where men can't even get that many likes in a lifetime, right? Men can't even get 6,000 women to be interested in him in his own lifetime. The man will be lucky if 100 women in his whole lifetime even likes him, even looks his way. Yet women have an abundance of options, and yet they can't even choose one. Yeah, I think women are at fault.
Amen. Why do you guys not stop really bad men from ruining? Amen. Why do you guys not stop really bad men from ruining you guys' reputation as a whole? I'm watching this video and this gorgeous woman is talking about how her fiance cheated on her. And I'm just seeing the pain on her and I'm realizing she's going to be like scarred for life from this, right? So every other man she ever encounters after this is going to have to deal with the result of that man's terrible behavior, even if they are nothing like that man. Now, as a black woman, like when I go out in the world, especially where I live now, because there's not a lot of black women around, I carry myself as a representative for all of us, even though that is not my job. I say representative just to be as upstanding as possible, right? So nobody can make any excuses so that I'm an example of, my entire group that I'm in. I'm beginning to wonder like how long you guys are going to wait to stand up so that your quality of life is better. Because again, these things are always affecting you. Like women at large don't want to deal with you guys as a group. And this is because you allow like horrifying men. I mean, a lot of you are horrifying, but it's because you allow horrifying men to take the front stage in your whole narrative about like what and who you guys are. You guys as a group would have a much better.
Exactly. You know how long I suffered? Like Facebook dating sucks, right? I get a few matches, yet not a single one of them would even reply, right? I get a few matches on dating apps, yet none of them would even reply. So why the hell even match me? Why even match me? That is the sheer stupidity when it comes to dating for men, right? You get matches and none of them reply. For women, you get matches and you don't want to reply. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely insane. Plus, like, I would reply, right? I would say something and still get no reply. So it's like, it's just ridiculous.
Lived experience. If you were to hold each other accountable for your behavior. Also just odd and heartless that you remain friends with people who will destroy the trust of people who like are depending on them and love them, will abuse people who they live in a home with. On one hand, I wonder if you guys even know anything about each other, but I know that you know these things about each other. Or that you can sense that this is not a good guy, so like, why are you around him? Also, what do you lose by like holding another man accountable, right? If he's saying something vile at like a family function or whatever it is, I don't know where you guys hang out with each other actually. When are you guys gonna bring back like respectability? And I don't say like alpha male because I don't believe in that, but like the idea of that and the idea of the nobility of you being an adult man and not an animal anymore. It generally doesn't make sense to me that you guys have not figured this out yet. Also, don't really fight each other, so I don't know what the problem is of you just challenging another man's like actions and behavior and words and just being like, hey dude, that's not cool with me. And even in friend groups, like excommunicating them, like what are they gonna do? Nothing. You know, you guys are very violent, but you're not really that violent towards one another. And then on the low, do you guys not feel like emasculated by this? And again, like masculinity, these things are all like fake terms that are made up to indoctrinate all of us. But if you're living under the premise that you're a man and obviously you think this comes with some sense of masculinity, do you not feel undermined by allowing other men to just like be disgusting in front of you and you say nothing? Like, how does this make you feel adult? I can't be in a grocery store where like a stranger is doing something to another stranger that's weird because I have to interject. Like I don't have a choice there because of how my psyche is built. You guys just don't have this? Or is this like frowned upon actually? Obviously it is, but why are you still allowing it to be that way? Each one of you that harms a woman, like 50 more of you have to like work harder to counteract that narrative. So why aren't you stopping that? Amen.
We are going to break this sheer stupidity down, right? We are going to break this sheer stupidity down. But Whiskey, thank you for the love. Thank you for all the support, right? The biggest problem for women as they age is that they are not savers. Even with 200K job in their prime, by 65, they will rely on Social Security. I agree. This is a problem with women, right? A lot of women could have these high-paying jobs, but at the end of the day, they're not able to sustain their life through old age. A lot of them can't. Right? A lot of them want to live the life up, right? Like buy expensive clothes, jet set, go out at night, do all these things because they want to live the life. They want to party up, live an amazing life, live an extravagant life. And that is what will hurt a lot of women, right? These boss women, these boss babes, these career women, that is what's hurting them, right? Because they want to, live the life they see on social media. Thank you guys for being here. Please like the live. Please like the live. It will be a big help. All right, let's break this woman down.
Why do you guys not stop really bad men from ruining you guys' reputation as a whole? I'm watching this video.
Why do men not stop other men from ruining their reputation as a whole? Now, one, I can say the same thing with women, right? How many times do you see women calling out other women for how they mistreat men? You don't. But yes, we must hold men accountable. And here's the thing, okay? This is something that women are honestly deluded. I know I've heard stories, right? Where a man trying to hold another man accountable, right? Like a while back, like a couple years ago, I did a story on this man going into Walmart with his wife, right? With his wife and newborn, right? He's going into Walmart with his wife and a newborn. He sees a couple arguing, and a man's like he's yelling at this woman. He's probably pushing her. He's probably abusing her. So This man he wants to go and step in between. His wife saying, do not do it. Don't do it, right? It's not our business. He did it anyway. He wanted to be, he's responsible, right? He's trying to be chivalrous. He's trying to be a gentleman. He's trying to hold men accountable. Okay. So he goes up to this man, pushes him out, like get him, like stop him from being belligerent and violent to this woman, to obviously his woman, right? Obviously this man's woman. This man gets upset. And kills the White Knight. He kills the White Knight. So now, right, this man stepping in, trying to save a woman, trying to be chivalrous, trying to hold men accountable, gets killed. Where's this woman helping out his widow, helping out his child? Now what? Where's she in all this, right? She's not there. She doesn't care. She doesn't care what happens to your widow. She doesn't care what happened to your child. She don't even care what happened to your life. She could care less. So that is the mentality of a lot of women. So now that this man lost his life for being a white knight, now what? Now because here's that, at the end of the day, that woman, right, with the abuser, she still chose him. This is something that a lot of women don't realize. How many stories you hear of people saying the abuse victim not to go back to abuser, and yet they still do. How many times you hear men saying, don't pick the Pookies, don't pick the Chads, the Tyrones, the high value men, the athletes. How many times you hear men saying marry before you carry, men giving advice, men telling you not to date these types of men. Yet women still do it. Women still choose these men. So it's like this is, at the end of the day, you can't stop bad men from being bad men, right? You can't. But what you could do, right, is stop you from dating these bad men, because you have the freedom of choice. You don't have to choose to date these bad men, but yet men, right? Men need to step in to what? To help you, to put his life in the line for you. How stupid is that, right? Because it's not like, I see this woman dating a bad man. I say, don't date him, right? How about date that other man? How about date a better man? How about date a good man? Oh, will you listen to that? Or what do you think men have to do, right? Step in and fight this man? How stupid are you?
This gorgeous woman is talking about how her fiance cheated on her, and I'm just seeing the pain on her, and I'm realizing she's gonna be like scarred for life from this, right? So every other man she ever encounters after this is gonna have to.
But here's the thing, you still chose that man. It's like I find it like, because there's studies that show that women cheat close to the amount of men cheat. Are you holding women accountable for cheating?
Deal with the result of that man's terrible behavior, even if they are nothing like that man. Now, as a black woman, like when I go out in the world, especially where I live now, because there's not a lot of black women around, I carry myself as a representative for all of us, even though that is not my job. I say representative just to be as upstanding as possible, right? So nobody can make any excuses, so that I'm an example of, my entire group.
I agree that you should be, hold yourself accountable, because you represent your group. But here's the thing, right? And I believe men do it too, right? Good men are out there, right? The gentlemen's, even today, right? I don't necessarily agree for men to be gentlemen or chivalrous, but still being good men. There are plenty of good men out there, right? Men that don't mistreat women, men that, would respect women, men that would treat women like equals. Plenty of men out there. Plenty of men, upstanding men. Right? Because they hold themselves accountable. Alan, what is up? Couldn't you say the same thing about women who file for divorce and child custody? You can't change bad women, but men can choose better. I mean, here's my thing, right? The difference is that, right? You have a third party, the courts. Right? I'm not talking about what women would do and what a man would do. That's not what I'm talking about, right? And what you're talking about right here, where divorce, you have a third party, right? It's the court system. The problem with that is the court system usually, right? A lot of times they cater to women, right? That's the inequality of it. That's the way that's not fair. Okay. I'm not talking about what a man would do or what a woman would do. Right? That's to each their own. That's accountability. That's, that's the part, it is what it is. Right? You can't choose, you can't change a bad woman. Yes. But the system shouldn't be unfair to you. The system should be as equal as possible to you. Okay. That's where, as your example is, that is the thing. This barely has anything to do with gender. It's more so overall societal concepts of good and bad men. And if we address the problem, men directly, wouldn't it help anyone? No, it wouldn't. Because at the end of the day, there will always be bad men. There will always be bad women, right? We have laws, right? In certain states, there's death penalty for doing bad shit. Yet people still do bad shit. So that is the stupidity in that. It's not like we teach our children, we don't teach our society to be bad or to be bad. We honestly actually cater more to try to be good. But yet people still do bad because at the end of the day, it's accountability. But for your example, it's like you can't even if you're accountable for your actions, right? It's the system. It's the third party. That's my thing. I get what you're saying, but I can't. But I mean, can't you say that men is the dummy for picking a woman who would use the system again? I would say, right? I would say a man would be the dummy for picking a woman that would use the system against him. But when men talk about the situation you just talked about, they're not talking about if the man is an idiot or not. They're talking about how the system is geared like that. That's what men are talking about. Men are not crying, oh my God, there's no accountability for men. No, men are not talking about that. Men are not crying that, that, she's using the system against them. Men are not crying about that. Men are crying, or I wouldn't say crying, but men are criticizing that the system is built like that. That's what men are talking about. Dude, like I do understand what you're saying, but I would much rather support a wide stop abusing women campaign compared to stop saying men who end up abusing you campaign. Let me say this. Do you not think that there are campaigns like that? I mean, it's like, is there even a campaign to say, stop saying men who end up abusing you? There's been campaigns throughout history, throughout time about, not abusing women. Me Too is like that. Me Too was a campaign for that, right? There are plenty of campaigns or movements or whatever to not abuse women. No, let me tell you this, right? Who's the primary teachers of men, right? Who's the one who predominantly raised men? Women, right? So nobody, right, is teaching or raising men to be abusers. Nobody. The problem isn't that if men are raised that or men are like, no one's telling men to not be bad to women, right? What man is growing up? And I mean, like there might be, right? But I believe majority of men are not growing up thinking, oh, you know what? It's okay to abuse women. No man is growing, at least no man I would think, right? There's always exceptions, exceptions, but I don't believe many men, if at all, are growing up to think that, oh, it's okay to abuse women. But here's the thing. Same thing with legality, right? Same thing with criminality. Same thing with murder. Same thing with robbery. No, like you're not teaching your kids to kill, to rob, to abuse women. You're not teaching them that, right? We're not teaching our kids to do that shit. Problem is, it's not what society's telling men. No, don't do this, don't do that. No, it's that bad people will always do bad things. This is the problem. I'm sorry, Alan, but this is the problem with the left. This is the problem with liberals. They keep on thinking in a utopian mindset. This ain't Minority Report. I mean, check that movie out, right? Check that movie out with Tom Cruise. This isn't Minority Report. We cannot predetermine criminality. We can't predetermine bad behavior. We can't, right? Maybe we could in the future. I doubt it, but we cannot predetermine criminality, bad behavior. We can't. What we can do, right? What we can do is hold yourself accountable. Don't deal with bad people. Don't deal with bad people. Now, life is unfair, right? This is the sad part with, people who believe in a utopian mindset. Life is unfair. If you are dealing with a bad man, you're suffering from the consequences of your actions because you chose the bad man. Life is unfair. Life is unfair. But again, you chose that life, right? As unfair as it is, you chose it. That's my thing. That's my thing, how I think. This is why MRAs get clowned on so constantly. It always just ends up being a whataboutism instead of addressing the direct problem, more so that the way the victims respond to it. Here's my thing, right? I think what you're saying is honestly a idiotic point of view, personally. Because here's the thing. You're not addressing a direct problem, okay? Because here's the thing. How can you address the direct problem in a way that what you mean, right? Targeting bad men? Tell me who the bad man is. How can you target bad men, right? And again, you have the preconception that if men in general say men don't do bad, you think that bad men will listen? That shows you the fallacy in your viewpoint. What men do, right? What men can do is hold people accountable, i.e., talk about you can only control yourself. You cannot control others. That is the problem with your viewpoint. You can't control others. You can only control yourself. You can control who you pick. You can't control what the person you pick, what they will do. That's what you need to understand. You can't control the abuser. What you could do is control you choosing said abuser. Right? And like I said, if you chose the said abuser, life is unfair. You chose the abuser. Plain and simple. Believe it or not, men are not abused, more abused than a woman. We get in trouble for defending ourselves. Believe it or not, men are more abused than a woman. We get in trouble for defending ourselves. I agree. I think so too. I think men, to be honest, I think men get abused more, right? When you add in verbal abuse, right? I think men do. That's just my opinion. Because, I mean, men receive more violence than women as well. So, but okay, this woman, right? She was talking about, right? Holding, she's a model, right? She's tried to hold herself accountable because she's representing her community. I agree. I 100% agree. But the problem is, right? Are you actually doing it correctly or doing it the way that makes sense? So we'll talk about this more.
I'm beginning to wonder, like, how long you guys are going to wait to stand up so that your quality of life is better. Because again, these things are always affecting you. Like, women at large don't want to deal with you guys as a group. And this is because
women at large don't want to deal with you guys as a group. Right? Okay. Totally understandable. But when you look at certain statistics, right? When you look at certain statistics and studies, there are more women are dating than men. More women are in relationships or dating than men in certain age groups, right? In certain age groups, there are more women, and I believe the 18 to 25, right? I believe in the age group of 18 to 25, more women in that age group are dating or in relationships than men of the similar age group. Guess what women are doing? They're dating the same men or they're dating older. So great, right? You don't want to deal with those men. Okay, that's your freedom.
You allow like horrifying men. I mean, a lot of you are horrifying, but it's because you allow horrifying men to take the front stage in your whole narrative about like what and who you guys are. You guys as a group would have a much better lived experience if you were to hold each other accountable for your behavior. Also just odd and heart.
I always find this funny, right? So she brought up her race, right? How she tries to be a good representative of her community, and she's now talking about hold other people, right? So men should hold other men accountable. What is this woman doing to hold other black people accountable? Is she trying to stop black and black crime? Is she trying to stop baby mama issues, ghetto behaviors, ratchet behaviors? Is she? I doubt it, right? Like she said, right? She lives in, she's predominantly around white people. So as a beacon of your community, what black people are you holding accountable, right? What black people are you holding accountable? I find it funny, the hypocrisy, the delusion in it, that you tell men that men need to hold other men accountable. How are you holding other black people accountable? And she's the one who brought up race, right? She's the one who brought up race, saying that she tries to be a beacon for her community, right? She's trying to be a good representation of her community. But here's the thing. Men do that too. Men try to be a good representation of their community. Men are not out here abusing women in mass. To be honest, right? To be honest, statistics and studies have shown that actually violence have decreased, right? Violence against women, violence in general has decreased over time, comparative, right, to the past. Violence is drastically down, or maybe not drastically, but it's going down. So it actually shows you that there's less violence, right? There's less, issues that men have. Now, if you're talking about cheating, here's the thing. Like I said, women cheat at almost or close to same rate as men. So to say that, oh, men need to hold other men accountable, you chose the cheater. What it's like, again, it's like, this is my thing where you chose a man that would cheat. It's your relationship. I don't know. I just find it funny because on the flip side, right? Do women actually listen to, other women when they tell you not to date certain men? Or do women listen to others when they say, don't date this man? I don't think so. If they do, women would not be dating the pookies. They wouldn't be becoming baby moms and shit like that. Because there isn't any unity.
That you remain friends with people who will destroy the trust of people who are depending on them. And
Alan, good night, my brother. Yo, if you do have any, you want to have some any interesting topics, right? I'm always down for it on Wednesday, so you can always stop by.
Love them. Will abuse people who they live in a home with. On one hand, I wonder if you guys even know anything about each other, but I know that you know these things about each other, or that you can sense that this is not a.
How do you know that? She literally just said that's, she just literally just made up that thought process. How would you know that that's true or not?
Good guy, so why are you around him? Also, what do you lose by holding another man accountable, right? If he's saying something vile at a family function or whatever it is, I don't know where you guys hang out with each other actually. When are you guys gonna bring back respectability?
You don't even know where these men hang out with each other, yet you think it's true. Makes a lot of sense, right? It seems like you know almost nothing about men, yet you claim to know a lot about men. And just another more women's ideology.
And I don't say alpha male because I don't believe in that, but the idea of that and the idea of the nobility of you being an adult man and not an animal anymore. It generally.
What does that mean, being an adult man but not an animal anymore? Holding people accountable, it's like being an adult man but not an animal. Okay. I just find it the hypocrisy that how are women holding other women accountable? Because it's not I guess it's a whataboutism. But my problem is this, that here's a woman that's telling men to do this, right? Why don't you do this? Assuming men don't, right? Assuming men don't. I literally gave you a story of a white knight and his life being ended because of him trying to hold other men accountable. This is the problem with a lot of women, okay? This is the problem with a lot of women where they don't understand men, okay? When you're dealing with other men, you have the threat of violence. This is why a lot of men they tread lightly, right? Men tread lightly when it comes to other men. Because if you're not ready to throw it down, don't get into other men's business. Right? Now, it depends on your level of friendship, but here's the thing. There will always be a threat of violence. when you're dealing with men. That's the animal in us, right? That's the mentality we have. So that's the problem a lot of women don't realize. So a lot of men don't, you know what? That's your business, not mine. Just is. Sometimes, right? How men hold other men accountable in these situations, they're just not their friend. Right? Because again, right? I don't need to surround myself with toxic people, with terrible people, with low morality people. But I'm not going to try to change this person because again, stop trying to think you will change people. I always find that the more hilarious things with women. You don't need to or try to change others. Now, what you do is hold yourself accountable and don't deal with terrible people. And I believe that's what a lot of men do, right? They just stop the friendship. They stop the friendship. That's what a lot of men do, in my opinion. They just don't be friends with these types of people.
It doesn't make sense to me that you guys have not figured this out yet. Also, don't really fight each other, so I don't know what the problem is of you just challenging another man's like actions and behavior and words and just being like, hey dude, that's not cool with me. And even in friends,
men do that by ending friendships, right? Men do that. Now, again, like I said, a lot of these women don't understand the threat of violence when it comes to this.
Groups like excommunicating them, like what are they gonna do? Nothing. You know, you guys are very violent, but you're not really that violent towards one another. And then on the low, do you guys not?
What? See, she just talks a whole lot of BS. This woman like this just talks a whole lot of BS. Saying that we are very violent, but we're just not that violent against each other. Stats show that men experience more violence than women. Stats and studies show that men experience more violence than against women. Guess who does it? Guess who does it? Other men. So, right there, I already just debunked one of her, her stupid point of views. Men receive more violence than women do. And it is by other men.
Not feel like emasculated by this, and again, like masculinity, these things are all like fake terms that are made up to indoctrinate all of us. But if you're living under the premise that you're a man and obviously you think this comes with some,
okay, well, is nobility a fake term? Is accountability? I mean, it's like, why are you you're picking and choosing what's a fake term or not? It's ridiculous.
sense of masculinity, do you not feel undermined by allowing other men to just like be disgusting in front of you and you say nothing? Like, how does this make you feel adult? I can't be in a grocery store where like a stranger is doing something to another stranger that's weird because I have to interject. Like,
I think it's kind of funny that who says that men are just, again, who says that that's happening in front of men, right? Men being whatever, bad men in front of other men. I've seen more examples of men stepping up than I do women. Second, it's like, would you, again, if you saw, I'm kind of, this is the problem with like videos like this, right? They can say a lot of things, but they have nothing to prove it, right? Nothing to back it up. It's like, if strangers are weird, I'm going to say something. Really? Doubtful. I'm doubtful. I really am. Because I have yet to see in my honest, well, I'm not saying yet to see. I rarely see, let's say, a black person holding other black people accountable for their behaviors. I've rarely ever see. Not saying that I don't ever see it, right? Because there are occasions, right? There are situations of it. So I'm not gonna just say never, but I'm doubtful that she does it.
I don't have a choice there because of how my psyche is built. You guys just don't have this? Or is this like frowned upon actually? Obviously it is, but why are you still allowing it to be that way? Each one of you that harms a woman, like 50 more of you have to like work harder to counteract that narrative. So why don't you?
Or you don't. And it's like, don't, right? For every woman that's been tainted or that's been harmed by a man, okay, I feel bad for her, but okay, don't deal with men anymore. I find it really ridiculous in a day and age where no one is forcing women to get married, to be in a relationship. You don't have to. You are perfectly fine with being single for the rest of your life. It's not the hardest thing in the world. I'm saying, like, no, men don't need to do anything that they don't already do, right? If you are a good man, just be a good man. You don't need to work harder. No, you don't qualify for men to bend over backwards for you. I'm sorry. Who are you? What are you doing to? Are you working harder to for every one woman, right? That that does a man dirty. Should you work 50 times harder to, I don't know, be a good woman to men? I doubt you have that expectations on yourself. Yet you have that expectations on men. They don't listen. They don't listen. Yes, they don't listen. But yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. I'll say this: just stay single, right? If a woman has been traumatized by a man, and I've talked about this a lot with women in trauma, right? It just makes you a worse person to be with. I'm sorry. One, you're the person who chose the man who traumatized you. Sadly, but true. So just don't deal with men anymore. Stay single. Stay single for the rest of your life. Because why? Because one of the key things is most likely traumatized women will just continue the trauma. They will pick men that will produce more trauma. Because the women that honestly pick terrible men will continue to pick terrible men. I saw this interesting video. I wanted to show this, right? Because I believe this is a good example of mental instability of a lot of women, right? So let's just check this out. It's a 4-minute long video, so I may interject. It's not like I doubt there's a whole lot of deep commentary or deep reactions I could do with this, but still interesting. Let's check this one out.
Hi friends, girlies, where are we? Burger King! Yep, we're at Burger King. We're not getting Happy Meals or whatever they call them here. We're just getting some mozzarella sticks to share. They actually call them mozzarella fries, so I was like a little confused, but that's just what they call them at Burger King. So we got mozzarella fries and marinara sauce. I am going to ask for 2 crowns for them as well. So I will take you along in the drive-thru with us. Hi, welcome to Burger King.
Hi, can I help you?
Hi, I have a mobile order for Rebecca.
Your name?
Rebecca.
One moment, please. You are checking. Rebecca?
Yes.
Okay. Next window, please, you know. Second window, please, you know. Sorry.
Thank you. Yep. Are you guys excited? Yeah! I am too. Finally! Hi. Yeah.
Lower, right?
Yeah. Do you have 2 crowns for them? Like, do you have 2 crowns?
Oh, okay. This one?
Yeah. 2 for them. 2. Thank you so much. Thanks. Let's find somewhere to pull over and chow down. This time it's better because they're already made. Last time I had to make them. And I like these ones better because they're just crowns, not SpongeBob. Not that I don't like SpongeBob, but yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna grab them, the girls. Bring them up here so we can eat. Oops, she sat on the crown. Rebecca, come on. Whoa, Amy always turning the radio on with her feet. Ah! Okay. Oh, so hers is a little too big. Rebecca's is too small. Hungry. You guys are hungry? I know. Okay. Cute. Rebecca's needs to be bigger. All right. I want them both to be in the frame because their little crowns are cute. You can see everybody. Okay. Let's open this up. So I got
Oh God, the mental instability. I'm I'm just like, I'm fascinated how this is the life of single women. Right? Instead of having actual kids, being in an actual relationship, most likely single, playing with fake babies in real life, about to feed her fake babies. And I believe that she's probably doing, I mean, I'm not sure if she's doing editing with, trying to, the kids talking, or she's doing like some, like ventriloquism, whatever. But it's like, okay, how's this? It's just the mental instability. It's just, and this is, it's just because there are certain, like, I've said this, I've said this before, right? There's certain studies and certain stats to show that more women than ever are on antidepressants or on some form of mental medication. Women are not healthy, right? Women are not mentally healthy right now. So, and this is what men are dealing with. Mentally unhealthy women.
The biggest one because we're all starving and yeah. Honestly, it's pretty cheap. Marinara sauce number 1. Marinara sauce number 2. I need to get one of those, like, dip holders for the car. Mozzarella sticks, or mozzarella fries, as they call them here. They're so good. I didn't realize this thing has a dip holder, so we'll try that. And if we make a mess, now I know the girls are good at cleaning the car, so we won't even worry about that. So it goes right in here. That's actually cool. They should do that at McDonald's too. Oh yeah, look, this is perfect. So
there's a comment. Canceling my therapy appointment. I'm clearly fine.
Me first. I know. All right. Whoa, nice and big. Okay. We'll dip it in for you. Try not to spill it on your outfit. Some water.
Editing.
Emmy, do you want it dipped?
Yeah!
Of course she does. Okay. All right, here you go. Already broken. More for me. Feels good to eat, right guys? Alright, well, we're gonna finish these and then do some shopping. When we get home, if we got anything interesting, we will show you guys. Hopefully I remember to get nail polish. Bye! Hi, friends!
I think we are dealing with a generation of such a high level of mentally, unstable people, right? I mean, like there's some group that like collects dolls with, like what is it? Those lifelike dolls. I forgot what they're called, right? Which is okay, right? I mean, you collect what you want to collect, but there's some group that goes to the extreme of it where they believe it's real, right? And they treat it like it's an actual baby. Exhibit A, right? Exhibit A. They treat it like it's a living child. It's kind of sad. It really is. Now, I don't know.
She held a Glock to the back of his.
Hi, friend.
I'm assuming that this woman is, I don't know. Is she trying to be? It's hard, right? I'm not sure if she's trying. I'm not sure if she's trying to be whatchamacallit, you know, those I don't know, like a TV show thing, right? You know how they overact. That's why I hate those kid shows, right? How they overact.
Happy Easter! Happy Easter! So we're at the gas station. Which little bunny wants to help me get gas? Me! No, me! Alright, so we'll let Emmy do it. Rebecca! My mom let my brother do this when he was Emmy's age. I don't think I was born yet. And apparently he got gas all over. But hopefully Emmy doesn't do that. Alright, let's go. Good job, Emmy. All right, so now we have a full tank that has 465 miles that we can go. Rebecca, maybe you can do it next time. All right, so Starbucks?
Oh my God, it's just so creepy. So sad. But I was just like, I mean, it's hard where, you know, you don't know if these are fake personas or these are just mentally unstable people. But with how I see society is, it's just a lot of mentally disturbed people. So I wouldn't be surprised. Right? I wouldn't be surprised. Now, talking about mentally disturbed people, right? Particularly the trans people, right? I believe a lot of people, the alphabet community is the example of the mentally disturbed. So let's check this woman's video out.
Should my ex-husband, who is a trans woman, go to Muffins with Mom at my daughter's pre-K class tomorrow? So this is one thing I still really, really struggle with. I want Muffins with Mom, Mother's Day, mommy, daughter, mommy, son things. I want those to still be mine. And I feel like I had my kids with a man. We agreed to be a mom and a dad. If my ex has children in the future, they can decide on their own how that gets handled. But I feel like the one thing I have repeatedly asked my ex is that I get to keep the title of mom and kind of be the main, like, mom character in their lives. And I get that they have a stepmom. I get that their dad's a woman. But
they have a stepmom? I literally just, the video before that, right? Or the one that a woman's talking about men holding other men accountable. You still can't stop these women for choosing the mentally disturbed. You can't stop these women from choosing weird ass men, right? You can't. How is a trans man married to a woman? It's like women still pick the weird ass men or the mentally disturbed men or the abusive men. Women, this is a problem where a lot of men have realized, right? A lot of modern day men have realized, yeah, I'm good, right? You want to choose the abuser, the liar, the cheater, the mentally disturbed men, go for it. Because honestly, I can't stop you, right? It's like no one can stop these women from choosing these terrible men. You can't. It's like I'm flabbergasted how this trans man has a wife, right? Absolutely ridiculous. And here's also a thing where it's like, do not see that this man is mentally disturbed. Yeah, you are the mom. He's the father. He's a mentally disturbed father, which I'm just like, to be honest, I always believe that children need their fathers, but I'm sorry. Children don't need mentally disturbed fathers. I'd rather that child just be in your household, right? Be in a single mother household than be in a household with a trans man or trans woman, right? Because honestly, that is traumatizing in my opinion, right? To be in a household with a mentally unstable man. That's traumatizing.
this is not the life I imagined. This isn't what I wanted. And I feel like I have done so much to accommodate my ex's needs and transition and to try to be respectful. And I feel like she can let me have this one request. I feel like.
See, that's your problem. Calling that a she. He. Call him a he. Right? I mean, you're literally saying that, you know, you're the mom, he's the father. Call him a he. Stop indulging in his insanity. Stop indulging in his delusion. Hell, if you're in a red state, sadly, take his kid away. I'm sorry. I'll be blunt. I always believe that, like I said, I always believe a child needs their father. They don't need a mentally disturbed parent. They don't. They don't need a parent that will confuse them, right? That will traumatize them. They don't need that. They need good parents, right? They need good parents. But when one parent is mentally disturbed, better off with just one good parent, right? They're better off with just one good parent. And again, enabling their delusion is not the way to go.
It's kind of my last request. It's the only thing I'm truly asking for me. And so I just get really annoyed with things like this, or when I hear that she's asking the kids to call her mom. And I've brought this up before, but it always comes up with things like this. So we're in the car. My kids are FaceTiming her, and
you know what? Like you calling him a her. Literally, you know what? I have very little sympathy for you, because again, you are enabling their delusion. If you call her, if you're calling her, right? You're literally showing no difference to, like, why not call her mom, right? Because it's not him. It's not a father.
She says, "Oh, hey, Courtney, did you hear that we had the muffins for mom tomorrow?" And as a side tangent, was annoying in itself, because I am the default parent. I am the one that usually knows all the school events going on. I show up at every single assembly, little midday parade they have. I'm very fortunate that I'm able to do that. My ex is currently not working, as far as I know. And they choose not to come to these things. And
so you don't have, you have one, a mentally disturbed parent, right? You have a useless parent. You have a lazy parent, and yet you are catering to them. This is the problem with women. You're just not blunt. You are not blunt at all.
I'm the one reminding her about, nights and PTA nights and things, like big events that the school hosts. And so I'm kind of like, yeah, of course I know about muffins with mom. So then my son says, "Oh, Dad, you could go because you're like a mom." Which was very interesting to me, because a few weeks ago, when another kid had said to him, "Oh, you have 3 moms," referring to me, his dad as a woman, and his stepmom, my son was very adamant that he only had 1 mom. So it was really interesting. Now he's saying, "Oh, Dad, you could go, your mom." Then my daughter goes, "You're not a mom, you're a dad. And dad starts with D. And we're celebrating the letter M, which is why they're doing muffins with mom." So it is stuff like this that I also...
Take the kids away from him. Take the kids away from him. Clearly, he's trying to indoctrinate the kids. Clearly, he's trying to manipulate the children. Clearly. All right? It's like he's trying to manipulate those kids.
And get annoyed because it's so confusing for my kids, and I do think it is nice.
Hey, do you not think it's confusing? You calling him or her? You think you're helping your kids? Do you think you're helping your kids? Calling that thing a her when clearly it's a him? You ain't doing your kids a favor by indulging in that man's insanity. And to be honest, I think we should automatically take away kids from these trans women.
To say that the kids are resilient and they'll figure it out, and as adults we overthink everything, because I do think it's tricky and complicated and they have to figure it out, and that's hard. But anyway, that's just, I know in a lot of ways, like, I'm generally try very hard to be kind and respectful and use pronouns and do all this, but this is one area that I feel pretty strongly about. And I want muffins with mom to be mine. And I don't really care if it's selfish at this point, and I'll own that. And I do feel like I deserve to be selfish sometimes in this instance, because I have not really had that luxury at all, and I just want to be. So anyway, I personally just want to go to muffins with mom by myself, and it's not going to be fun for me if I go tomorrow and she shows up and then their stepmom also shows up and we're all three there. And I'd love to be just one big happy family, but it's going to be rough for me.
Well, because you don't hold your ground, right? I mean, it's like, obviously you're not blunt enough. You're trying to be, respectful to the delusionals, but that is your problem, right? You're enabling their delusion. Hold your ground. I agree that she's the mother. She's the one who's going. Right? Father-daughter dances or father-child dance? Usually father-daughter dance. Yeah, he goes. Right? Again, schools make specific things for parents. Right? Schools do it. I go for my I go to father-daughter dances like almost every year or so. So yeah, school does it, right, for the kids. They do it for the kids. So yeah, this is stand your ground. But the problem is like she's enabling it. She's enabling this bad behavior. So I think it's kind of ridiculous. Just stand your ground already. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I mean, maybe. I mean, like, it's weird because like there was regular people. I mean, like my viewer counts was consistent, and then it just dropped off. So I don't know. It is what it is. I don't. It is what it is. I'm not that bothered. It's whatevs. No, it is what it is. I want to see if I want to. I want to see if there's something short I could react to. Something short. All right.
Watch the empires disappear, turn to dust in atmosphere. Centuries inside my veins, nothing left that still remains. Velvet nights repeat the same, every face a different name. Time has dulled what once would burn, still I ache for its return. Underneath this endless calm, something stirs, something wrong. I lure into decay, but I'm not done this way. I need the fire back again, something real to crave. I lure into decay.
就是91到94年，然后身高1米以上。
Okay, so I want to let's end it out on this video. I think it might be interesting. I always like to check out these videos with the Asian women, Chinese women. So it'll be interesting. Let's check it out. And this is what feminism has done, right? This is what feminism has done to, let's see. All right, I want to check this one out. This is what feminism has done to Asian women in Asia, right? It's made women unrealistic with their standards. It's made women delusional. It's made women expectant, right? Make women think that they're something special, right? So let's just read this, right? I require my partner to be born between 1991 to 94 and then be over 1.75 meters tall. And then the job should preferably be in a state-owned enterprise or a major corporation. Working within the system is also fine. Yeah. It's like each one, right? Just like in the West, right? Women add on standards that make it even harder and harder to find a man. He has to be 6 foot. He has to, have a six pack, athletic. Okay. He has to make 6 figures. He has to be all this. Do you not realize that each one of those alone, right, is the minority? And then when you add on each other one, you just make it smaller and smaller. And then no wonder why a lot of Asian women are growing old and alone.
然后工作可能就是国央企、大厂、体制内都行，然后就是独生子女，然后非农村家庭，然后
He should be an only child from a non-rural family. His parents should have all social security, medical insurance, pension, and then he should have a fully paid house in a car in a local area.
父母社保、医保、退休金都有，然后当地全款房车。
你在找六边形战士
啊
？4分，姑娘，可以吗？4分。
我是94年。
Oh, she's the matchmaker, right? That's why she's talking to a woman that's crazy. I was born in 1994. I am 1.64 meters tall. I weigh, okay, and then I have a master's degree, which is meaningless. And now I work in a provincial capital city in northern China. I work in a provincial level government unit.
然后身高164，体重56，然后是硕士毕业，然后现在在北方的省会工作，然后是省直单位，然后现在家里不是本地人，然后。
She's 32. She's in her 30s, so she's already a leftover woman in the China thing. I'm not a local, but in the place where I currently work, I have already bought a house and a car. The house is fully paid, and I am an only child, and my parents are both employees of... This is a problem, right? With a lot of women. They think that, they qualify for any kind of man because of the achievements they have, right? Because of the qualifications that they have. I'm sorry, men don't care. Men don't care no matter where. They don't really care. They wouldn't, it doesn't make you a whole lot more attractive what kind of job you have, your achievements, your bank account, your house, your car, because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, women still require a man to have all that. So if she has a house, she wants him to have a house. So if they both have relatively equal stuff, right? Why does he now care about what you have? You're the one who cares what he has. He didn't choose you because of what you have. No, he chose you because who you are and what you look like. You chose him on what he has, right? Also what he looks like and what he, so you have an extra layer, right? But that's the thing where women know what they want. They don't know what men want. Men don't want women like this. And this is the feminist ideology that has poisoned Asian countries.
但是在就是我现在工作的地方，就是房车都已经买了，然后房子是全款的，然后是独生子女，然后我父母都是国企的职工。
石家庄吗？
啊，不是，就东北。
东北的省直单位年薪不会很高，12还是15？12最多。
差不多
12万。有没有谈过恋爱？
有过2段，但是都很短，就是2-3个月。
You also have very little experience, right? You're 32. You've only been in 2 short relationships, only 2 or 3 months. You have very little experience when it comes to relationship at your age, right? It's not like you're 22, right? At 22, okay, it's understandable. 32, you have no experience where you don't know how to treat a man. You don't know how to, you know, you don't know nothing about men.
好，明白。没有个人推进到婚姻这个阶段。
对。
还是母胎单身吗？
对。然后我现在相亲就是那个找的就是91到94年，然后身高175以上，然后工作可能就是国央企、大厂、体制内都行，然后就是独生子女，然后非农村家庭，然后父母社保、医保、退休金都有，然后当。
It's like a TikTok thing, right? The guess is right here, like a TikTok thing.
全款房车。
你在找6边形战士。
Are you looking for a hexagon warrior? I don't know what that means. Something probably a Chinese thing. If a man fully meets all your conditions and still comes to find you, then there must be something wrong with him.
这个男的如果完全符合你的条件，他有重大雷点。
But here's the thing, okay? A lot of these women don't understand. So if he can get you, right? Because what your qualities probably other women want. Why wouldn't he pick a younger woman, right? 22 or 25? Why wouldn't he? This is the thing where a lot of women don't realize. What's the benefit of dating older women, right? What's the benefit? Particularly when they have values, ideologies, they have a personality, they have a mindset no different than the 22-year-old, right? I want a man that makes 6 figures. Yeah, the 22-year-old wants that too. This is the thing where a lot of these women don't realize that you want the same man. You all want the same man. So since you all want the same man, why wouldn't that same man pick the best option he could pick?
之前有遇到就是符合这个条件的。
I met someone who meet these conditions, but I thought he didn't look very good. You see that? Women's conditions, women's standards never end. So he met all those conditions. He just wasn't good looking. So now you add in looks as well. Again, another layer that makes it almost impossible, right? Improbable finding that man. A lot of women say this, right? Oh, he met all these. I've dated millionaires before. Okay, where are they now? Right? Obviously, you're not with them anymore. So, that means that they weren't good enough, right? You didn't want them. So the men that meet your conditions, you don't even want. So maybe it's your conditions are the problem, right? Maybe it is. Maybe your standards are the problem because you dated or you met these men, but you can either get a relationship from them or you can't get you can't maintain a relationship from them, or you don't want these men, right? It's like, this is what I call the feminist ideologies, right? Because why I say feminism, because this is what's poisoned these women to have unrealistic standards, to think that they are, they've wasted their. What? That's weird. Okay, my OBS is acting weird, but looks like it's fine. So I'm just going to keep playing it until I finish this out.
就是我觉得他长得不太好看，
他不
我可能还稍微有一点颜控，
长得不好看，他还有其他问题。你需要找91年以后，91到94年聘大3岁以上的。大3岁的，然后1.75米以上的，父母有退休金的，然后自己有存款房的，还得是省级机关、国央企固定工作、好工作以上的。
对，有稳定工作的
，100%不可能。这个男的如果有可能，如果你找到了，我给你随1000块钱分了，不可能，绝对不可能。
100% impossible. This kind of man, if you find one, I will give you a 1,000 yuan red envelope. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Yeah, it becomes impossible. Right? Because this man is so rare, you won't be able to find him. And if you could find him, what's guaranteeing that he will pick you out of all other women?
那我要找什么样的呀
？35岁了，35岁条件，你记住我直播说的话，数据没问题，人有问题。91年的数据全都是好的，还没有结婚，他人必然淡漠的要死，不然抠的要死，必然还有一些无法启齿的原因，比如爱无能，比如性无能。
啊，
我哪有这么好男孩能挪到现在的？他如果想结婚的话，
那我之前遇到那个，我倒是没有，就是
因为你只跟别人接触过2个月，你只跟别人接触2个月，你还没有深入去接触。你在想啥嘞，姑娘？我跟你说一下，不可能，绝对不可能。你要么去找比你小的，可能说1.70米以上的，稳定工作的，有房但是有贷款的，父母有1万有退休金的，能够放宽到这个程度，你还能结婚且是头婚。如果你再不放开，你就只能2婚了。你的所有的择偶这个要求，像是什么母胎单身的。就是固定择偶要求，在我直播间同事都听我说过一句话，我说母胎单身他们喜欢什么？每个人喜欢就是
I want to do lifelong single women like. I said, what do lifelong single women like? Everyone likes the same template. See, everyone likes the same man. It's not that you must find a very handsome man, nor that he must be very rich, but he must speak properly, not be greasy. His appearance should not have major flaws. You don't need him to be extremely rich, but you must have a fully paid house, and his parents should not be a burden.
同样的标板，就是不是非要找大帅哥，也不是非要找有钱人，但你得谈吐得体，不油腻，也得外形挑不出什么大毛病。你不要你特别有钱，但你得有全款房，父母也没有负担。所有母胎单身都要求这种。我就问你，28岁以上有这种男孩吗？没有见过一个，我没有，28岁以上就没有了。你的要求，你想想看，怎么可能会有这种男孩到35周岁还单身呢？他在等什么？就等你呀。是不是？他如果想结婚，女孩多的是，在婚恋市场上，我跟你讲，就 A 类男生他是最吃香的，比所有女生吃香。虽然说好女百家求，那是面。
She said the man that she wants is in the most a man. Although people say a good woman is sought after by many, that is for women around 26 years old. But in the marriage market, the dominant side is always men with no weaknesses in their data. Yeah, I mean, like, this is the thing. The top 20% of men are pretty much women, right? In the sense that they are highly desirable, right? They are highly desirable. They're highly sought after because they're rare men, because they're high value men or top quality men, right? Top quality dating men, right? Doesn't mean they're the best men, but they're just the highly desirable men in the dating market.
面对26岁左右的女孩，好女百家求，但婚姻市场上的甲方永远都是数据无短板男性，因为所有女生要往上找，但是男生他可以兼容找。但为什么他会比较吃香一点？因为他数据在线，找的人太多了。
懂了。
另外，姑娘你在吗？我稍微给你说一个事情
我在。
稍等一下，给你加90秒钟。好，我跟你讲一下大龄男性，因为你是母胎单身，你未来要吃2个巨大的亏，你给我记住2个。第一是男生隐瞒经济问题，目前在。
Two disadvantages. First is the men may hide financial problems. Currently in the marriage market, based on cases we can consult, the probability of older men having financial problems and psychological problems is very high. Really? Interesting.
婚恋市场上，按照我们接咨询的比例当中来说，大龄男士遇到经济问题、遇到生理问题的概率非常非常大。一个男的可能会隐瞒他。
I didn't know that older men would have financial problems like that. Usually older men will be more stable. A man may claim his house is fully paid or his family can afford a house, but in reality he has no money at all or a house is not his. or the house has huge debt, you need to verify this. I'll allow you to accept a mortgage, but it does not mean you should not verify it. I definitely agree, right? Women need to verify shit. It's like I can never understand how women don't really dig in deep when it comes to I don't know, a man's history, a man's personality, a man's finance. I mean, like you should really understand a man really well, like the back of your hand. I find it, because I've said this before, like finding a partner should be the most important thing you do in your lifetime. Right? Like top 5, top 3. Hell, I think it's number 1 in my opinion.
房子是全款房，比如或者我家能买房，实际上根本没有。
I think finding a partner is number 1, and having children, right? Raising children is number 2, because kind of correlates, right? You need to have a good partner to hopefully raise good kids.
钱或者房子根本不是他的，或者房子有巨额贷款，这你就要核实一下。我让你接受有贷款，但不代表你可以完全不核实。另外生理问题，因为你是母胎单身，所以你会很慢进入这段关系。但是我跟所有女孩讲一下，6个月之后可以试探性的去接触一下，因为大龄男性的生理问题很严峻，真的很严峻。你们去看一下那个什么什么的成活率的那个比例，以及我昨天还给一个女孩发截图生理机能问题，我现在没法给你们搜。 稍等一下，我手机就在找生理性的问题。生理问题是目前是男性很大很大的问题，我就搜我最新的问题，看一下生理问题，看一下没有？诸多女性在大龄的时候反映自己的男朋友生理问题很严重。
The psychological problem is interesting. I never heard of that. I am reminding everyone. You must pay attention to these 2 points. I mean, I definitely agree. Get to know a man's, how his I don't know, finances are, right? I mean, I think it's a good thing. Definitely understand his, his psychological issues or whatever, because that's also, deep in the type of person you are. So definitely understand that.
我给大家提个醒，好，这2点您注意啊。
好的，我知道了，谢谢。
拜拜，再见。
To be honest, this girl's problem is actually very common. Her conditions are not bad. On the contrary, they're quite good. But the issue is that she is looking for a perfect answer. Think about it carefully. What is she asking for? Height, age, job, family, assets. Everything must have no weaknesses, and he must have never been married. What do we call this kind of person in the marriage market? A top-tier resource. And what is the biggest characteristic of top-tier resources? They do not lack choices. So here's the question. Why would a man who does not lack choices remain single until 35 and then just happen to meet you?
Because a man that's still single, past his mid-30s, is a man that's, if he doesn't lack choices, right, is a man that's extremely picky. It's a man that's also, like a lot of common women, right? He wants to find perfection. He wants to find the best option he could find. So this is the thing what women don't realize. What makes you stand out? What makes you better than the rest? A lot of women can't really give a good example there. Oh, I'm nice. Okay. Other women are too. I know how to cook and clean. Okay, for a man like that, most women would too. I'm fun to be with. Okay, well, are you saying other women aren't fun? Again, a lot of women will say the things that make them special, or a man should pick them, but yet everything you say, every woman would say the same. So yeah, I think a lot of women don't realize.
This itself does not make sense. Many people fail in dating not because no one wants them, but because they're waiting for someone who does not exist logically. More importantly, she is single since birth. The biggest problem of being single since birth is not lack of experience, but that her understanding of relationships remains at the level of imagination. What she wants is not a man, but a perfect...
He pretty much talked about lack of experience, so okay. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for tonight. All right, guys. Yeah. Tonight's live was weird, right? Tonight's live was weird. I don't know if YouTube is acting up and whatnot, or my OBS is, well, right now my OBS is acting up, so that's annoying. But yeah, that is it for tonight. right, guys. I hope you have a good day. See you on Wednesday's live. It will be like always, right? It will be a call-in show, right? Panel show, so you can always call in, you know, react with me on videos. I'm gonna probably be political, right? I have some political videos lined up, so we can react to that. Please check out my other videos, right? Please check out my other videos. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. Please comment on those other videos. It helps me out. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Man, YouTube is weird. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm just meant to be small time, but sometimes I feel like I'm being shadow banned. Right? So I don't know. It is what it is. Guys, that is it. Later, guys.